Am I the asshole for getting upset at the jokes that I am not family? So I, P, 29 female, am 4 months pregnant with my fiancé M's, 34 male, and my first child. My family on the whole are very welcoming and often include me, except for some comments that they make that really hurt my feelings. These comments always refer to me not being a part of the family. At our engagement party, his parents wanted to throw it for us. I made a speech saying thank you to the best in-laws, and his mum made a statement in front of everyone how I shouldn't say that as we are not family yet. I would like to add that his mum has had a few phone calls with M's ex-girlfriend in front of me where she would be reminding the ex that they are family. 2 days ago, the mum said that she wanted family photos, but could only do it once my baby was born, as I won't be family until then. The whole family then proceeds to tell me how we mustn't be too sure that we are having a boy, and I'm not allowed to buy boys' clothes. They rained on our parade as we were happy with the news. We would have been thrilled either way, and feel like it is because they thought we were going to have a girl. M at first told me that they are joking with me and that they wouldn't if I wasn't family when I tried to talk about him. He has recently started to see things from my side when I pointed out my family doesn't do this. Go to today, I am on a family group, and the uncle posts this exact message. Dear family and P. I want to have a get-together for my birthday, and I was planning a day out in the countryside on Sunday. Is everyone available, and P? I sobbed and lost it. I phoned M and I said that I am leaving the group. Before I left I replied, sorry but I have family things that day, and I exited. His uncle thinks that I can't take a joke. M supports me with this and understands why I'm hurt, but a part of me feels like maybe I overreacted, and what if I just can't take a joke? Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. This hurts that the unmarried ex-girlfriend is considered family, and appears that she still is, and you are not. Does M have children with the ex-girlfriend? And OP replies, they do not have any children together, but her mum and M's mum are best friends. He finds it awkward that she is brought up, but he never says anything. Sounds like your fiancé needs to have a come-to-Jesus talk with his mother about this. That she is choosing someone who cheated on her son like this says more about her than anything else. Definitely not the asshole. Next time, sit down right across from him or her and ask them to explain the joke to you. Since you don't see the humor in it, you need their help. Do not let them off the hook until they do, or you have fully embarrassed them, and then leave. OP adds further comment and says, just to add, she cheated on him and treated him like trash, and this hurts me even more that she is considered family. I have the same problem. My husband's ex cheated and tore him down emotionally over and over again, but she grew up with us, is always the answer when I ask about how they continue to accept her. They know better than to bring her up to me at this point, and she knows not to come around me. The lack of loyalty is astounding. Not the asshole. Don't invite them to anything baby-related since they are not family. Where is your husband and fiancé in all this? Why can't he have your back? And OP says, so he originally said that they were joking with the original comments, and that means that they think of me as family. He loves his family, and I get that it is hard to realign, but he has slowly been considering it from the receiver's side. However, after what his uncle posted, he is pissed at them and said enough is enough and it isn't a joke anymore. He has apologized and is now standing firmly with me. Not the asshole at all. Even if this is supposed to be some big joke, they have taken things way too far. The mother on the phone with an ex telling her she is family, and then turning to you and saying that you aren't until you are married or have a kid, is so wrong. I don't even know where right is in that situation. I would say have your fiancé explain to his family that this needs to stop, as it isn't funny, and to be blunt, that it's cruel. I wish you and your family the best and hope that you have a happy and healthy child. And OP says, thank you for the well wishes. We are so excited for our little baba. And now on to the update. M's mum phoned to say how awful that message from his uncle was and how she's glad that I stood up for myself, which was very ironic. M actually took the phone call and set things and boundaries straight with his parents. Turns out that in the last few days, M's sister also told his mother that M's ex and her mother are not family and stood up for me. Things are looking much brighter. Added, I wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you. I am a person who backs down easily and always wants to keep the peace. This has helped me to realize that when things are not okay, then change them, and it is okay to set things right with M so he can sort it with his family. All this thinking of family has me thinking of Vin Diesel Fast and the Furious memes, to be honest, and I'm having a good giggle. Family. Am I the arsehole for telling my friend her boyfriend is not allowed at my wedding? I shall try and keep this short, though I have a tendency to ramble and add more info than necessary. Anyway, I'm supposed to be getting married early October 2022. It's not going to be a big wedding or anything, but me and my fiancé both have friends that we don't want to leave out. I have this friend Amanda. We have known each other since high school, and we aren't incredibly close by any means, but we are still somewhat good friends and hang out regularly, and I would like her to be there. The problem is, I just recently found out who she is now dating, and she wants to bring him as her +1. My sister Lily and her ex Steve broke up about 10 months ago because she found out he was cheating. She was heartbroken, and I know all along with that pain that she still has a lot of resentment for him and doesn't even like hearing his name. He was a crap boyfriend, so my family has no problem with him no longer being in our lives. 8 months ago, Amanda told me that she had started talking to someone, and she really liked him and everything. She would tell me who, but not even his name, because she said she didn't want to share anything about him until it got more serious. I didn't really understand the secrecy, but didn't force her to tell me anything, and just let her know that I was happy for her and I hoped that it all worked out. Well, last week, she told me she was dating Steve. They had gotten more serious, and she wanted to make their relationship public to the people they care about. She also said she knew how much I disliked him and what he had done to my sister, and hoped that I would try to understand their love and be happy for her, and try to see him in a different light. I was a little shocked at first, since I really didn't expect her to be with a guy like him, and she knew what kind of person and boyfriend he was. But it isn't my place, and I told her that I'm happy that she's happy, and that was that. Well, 2 days later, we are texting about the wedding and everything, and she mentions Steve being her +1. I do not want him there. Not only because I know my sister, who's my maid of honor, doesn't want him there, but also because I don't like him, and neither does my fiancé. I immediately told her that Steve was not invited to the wedding. She was confused, and I explained to her that I was sorry and I'm happy for her, but I didn't want him there. At first, she thought that it was just because my sister would be, and kept saying that they wouldn't even be near each other, and it would be fine, but then I explained that with everything that happened, we didn't want him there. I said sorry again, but she kept saying how I don't want her to be happy, how I want to live in the past, how I want to punish her for finding love, and just stuff like that. None of that is true, and I tried to tell her that, but she stopped responding. So now I'm left feeling like a complete asshole, and I don't know if I should let Steve come or not. Not the asshole. She wants you to bring the guy that cheated on your sister, a person that you are very close to and is in the wedding party, to your wedding? I think you're in the clear here. I can almost guarantee she didn't start talking to him 8 months ago either. Hence the BS secrecy. I assume Steve was cheating with her when he was with your sister. And how the hell would they not be near each other in the same venue? Your wedding is not a platform for their crappy coming out. Uninvite her and don't think twice about it. Enjoy your beautiful, drama-free wedding, guilt-free. If it ends your pseudo-friendship, then so be it. She sounds a bit unhinged anyway. This is the thing, Amanda and Steve are hoping to use the wedding as their way to reintegrate into the OP's social circle and make OP's sister the bad guy for any lingering resentment. So tacky. Just uninvite Amanda kindly and directly. Look, I'm happy if you're happy, but you did choose a partner who has a bad history with my sister who is very important to me. It's simply not possible for Steve to ever attend the wedding. I don't want him there. It is not up for debate. I think it's best if you don't come either. You are not the asshole. P.S. You know Steve had Amanda on the line while he was with your sister, right? Even if she is not the other woman, she's the one that he monkey branched to right after your sister dumped him, so he was at least laying the groundwork with chats, etc. Honestly, just disinvite her to the wedding. Someone with that mentality will definitely try to show up with Steve and cause a scene. Now I'm curious if Steve was cheating on your sister with Amanda the whole time, not the asshole. And OP replies, I am seriously considering uninviting her. I'd like to have a chat with her first though, and if she did show up with Steve, we already plan to have some type of security for the wedding, so neither of them would get in. And I can't be sure if he was. It's possible, but I'm hoping that isn't the case. Thank you for commenting. Not the asshole. You get to decide who shares your wedding day, and it's ridiculous of Amanda to expect that he be invited. You don't like him, and he screwed your sister over. I say leave Amanda to it, and you'll probably find she comes crawling back when he cheats on her too. And now, onto the update. First of all, I want to thank everyone so much for commenting and giving judgment. I know I haven't replied to everyone, but I tried to give extra info that was asked for or relevant, though I'm sorry if I didn't reply to you. Now, as I have mentioned in the comments, I had a lapse in my judgment, and that's what's led to this post. I thought maybe I was seeing things simply from my distaste for Steve, and it was coming off as I wasn't supportive of Amanda, and that's what made me think I was wrong for not allowing him to come. But I see now, I am completely in the right to not have or want him there, so he will not be invited, and that won't be changing. With Amanda, I have pretty much decided that she is no longer invited to my wedding, and I'm pretty sure I'm ending the friendship. But I wanted to sit down with her and have a conversation first. Not to salvage anything, but I have some things to say to her and questions to ask. With the cheating, I mentioned in the comments that we only know of 3 girls that Steve cheated with. We all believe there are more, especially since one of the affairs goes all the way back to a year, as they were together for 2. But we don't know for sure and have no solid evidence at the moment, and Lily doesn't care to find any. Amanda could very well be one of the unknown affair partners, it is very likely, and the timing and secrecy makes more sense to believe that she was. Even though I intend to end this friendship, and I'm finding it hard to believe that Steve wasn't cheating with her, it would still suck if she had been. Another thing I mentioned in the comments was that Amanda had offered support to my sister when everything happened. She even said more than once that Steve was an asshole for hurting Lily, and for that to most likely had been an act would suck. I would also like to clear up something about Amanda and her wanting to make their relationship public. Right after she told me they were dating, she started posting them on social media and telling people, so my wedding wouldn't really be their coming out event, though it would definitely be a way for them to show off their relationship and gloat and everything. Still not okay, but just wanted to clear it up and not mislead anyone. Last thing, I was finally able to get a response out of Amanda. I told her I would like to talk to her about everything and get everything out in the open, and she has agreed to meet with me and talk. So, I shall update when that happens. Would I be the asshole if I take my dog back? So, I'm a service member who is medically retiring next month. One of my diagnoses is PTSD, for which I got a high disability rating because it greatly affects me. The symptom that makes it so serious is paranoia. I do not feel safe unless a person is with me, even in my own home. I also have insomnia, even with my husband in the room. I always intended to get a service dog once I was out at the recommendation of my therapist, but waitlists are long. In August, I got a rescue dog with the understanding that I would be out in November. Training her was hard due to her being a puppy, but her presence immediately helped with my symptoms. I could sleep full nights more frequently, and I could function like a normal person. Because she was not actually a service dog, she could not help with my anxiety attacks in public, but I was grateful for the aid she did provide. When November came, I was tasked in a mission that had me working 14 to 16-hour nights. My husband was also on a separate mission and was gone the entire month. I felt incredibly guilty with her being home alone so much and not getting the attention she needed. My husband was gone, and I have a hard time walking and standing due to an injury, so she wasn't getting the exercise she needed. My contract was extended indefinitely. I just found out that I'm done next month, and I made the decision to rehome her. My husband did not like her, as she was only attached to me and completely indifferent to him. Whenever I would say that I didn't want to rehome her, my husband would convince me that it was better for her. I regretted giving her up immediately when I found her a home, but I felt it was too late. It has been a little over a month since then. The woman who took her contacted me, asking if I could take her back because she had moved and her landlord didn't allow dogs over 50 pounds. I was ecstatic because I had just found out about my out date and I would be able to give her the home she needed. Even the exercise situation was taken care of. My symptoms had been unmanageable in her absence. I gave her a date that I would be available since I was out of state, and she agreed. She texted me tonight and said her landlord changed his mind and she would give her back to me, but it would kill her family as her son under 10 is attached to her. I told her that while I feel guilty because he's a child, I cannot live without her, and her texting me that day felt like a miracle. She sent me a bunch of texts about how her family was attached to her, but all I could say was that I was sorry. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I feel like I may be the asshole because I gave her up in the first place. I did not reach the end of my contract, so my out date was needs of the army. Even though my situation was uncertain, I should have known that I would be out close to projected out date. I feel bad taking a dog from a child that is attached to her, and I know that she's wonderful from my own experience. Not the asshole. I too have your symptoms. Insomnia, disabled, can't walk well. You say that you had the pup as a rescue, so it's been rejected once, and then you rejected it and it almost happened again. You need to consider what is best now for the dog. This pup has found a home with children to play with, and you want to take it away so you can sleep better. Why don't you look into rescuing another one? Maybe one your husband will like, because having a master who hates you is not going to make this dog feel loved. I'm stunned at how selfish your motives are. You don't want the poor animal out of love. You want it to make you feel better. What if it starts pining for its new family? Do you actually give a damn about this being a living creature? Leave it in peace. It has been passed around enough, and to be honest, if I was the woman who owns it now, I would not return it. Why do you think it's your decision where the dog lives? It belongs to them now, so leave them alone and get yourself another. There is so many waiting to be adopted. I'm upset about this because yesterday, my 9-year-old boy passed away, and I would have done anything to keep him, but he was in pain, and I did what was best for him. Stop thinking of yourself and do what's right for this pup. Leave him where he is loved, not where he can do you a service. He is not a service dog by your own admission. It's cruel to the child and to the puppy. And OP replies to them, dogs are not considered service animals until they are fully trained to perform their tasks, which she was in process of but has not done yet. I love her more than anything, not just because of the service she provides, but as a pet as well. If I did not love her, I would not have given her up in the first place and considered only my needs and not hers. I would have never asked for her back if the woman did not offer her. Her situation changed, but so did mine. I will not be working, so my original concerns about her care are not the same as they were. I could rescue another dog, but I don't see a situation where it would be her. I felt like I lost another child that day, and it may be selfish, but I can't live with myself if I don't take this second chance. You're the asshole. If you felt this strongly about this dog, you would have fought harder to keep her. You even said that you wouldn't have asked for her back if the lady didn't say something, so how much did you really care for her? It sounds like you don't want to get another dog because you either don't want to wait for one or train one. This is not your dog anymore. I hope she is still with the other lady and family who did you a great service and took her in and gave her a good home. And OP says, I had no control of my situation as a service member. I did not pick my hours, the days I work, or even my retirement date. I gave her up and that was my fault. I thought that I had a second chance after my circumstances changed because she got into contact with me. Also, Tahoe was meant to be a pet, and I didn't discover her inclination to the training until after I got her. I can't pick up any dog and train them. It's about temperament. There are dogs specifically bred with that in mind. Finding a random rescue with it was a 1 in a million chance. She is 1 in a million. I'm going to say everyone sucks here. 1. No matter the reason, OP rehomed the dog. 2. Then that family decided to move not too long afterward. Surely they knew that move was coming. They could have found somewhere to live that allowed dogs of that size. And 3. Then they ask OP to take the dog back. OP agrees, therefore the dog should go back to OP, but everyone sucks here because of passing the poor dog back and forth like a borrowed screwdriver or something. And now onto the update. So I realized in my last post that I didn't fully establish the timeline. First message, January 3rd, second message, January 11th, date she changed her mind but said that I could still have the dog, January 15th. Once my husband and I got back to the state, I asked her what time she would be available the next day. She gave me a time and a place to pick her up. I took a nap, and when I woke up, she texts me saying that she never actually told her family and didn't want to, and then blocked me. I called my husband, freaking out because I felt like my hopes were being crushed. An hour later, I got a text from her fiancé saying that if I made the 2-hour drive right then, I could have her. I woke my husband up, got dressed, got in the car, then he said never mind, I could come the next day as planned. I agreed and went back inside. Not even 5 minutes later, he texted again and said to come, but it would be up to the dog to choose who she wanted to be with. I agreed, but asked that he bring her kennel, food, and vet records. Those were just the things that I bought her and sent with her, and all of her vet papers were from the visits that I took her to. He said if I wouldn't take her without them, I couldn't have her at all. I decided to go anyways. The whole car ride there, I kept getting texts, my car reads them aloud, about how she wouldn't come with me, I was wasting my time, how dumb I'd feel when she went home with him, etc. When he finally got to the meeting spot, it was almost midnight. She took one sniff and that was it. He called her and she wouldn't come back. They did bring her vet paperwork, so at least I have that. She has not left my side since she's been home, but her initial happiness at seeing my husband has faded, and she's gone back to not liking him. I now have a 60-pound lapdog. She regressed a bit in her training, but now that I'll be home all the time, we'll finish our certification in no time. I am so glad that it worked out, although I am sad for them. Also, you need to point out to your husband that this is a service dog. Service dogs have to prioritize their ward. If you were to get a trained dog, it will also concentrate on you. You could offer to get a pet dog as well, but he needs to get over this dog liking you better. So happy for you, OP. This was a really tricky situation, but in the end, the pup made her choice. I hope she's eventually able to establish a good relationship with your husband too, but in the meantime, enjoy your adorable girl. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. That is where I leave you. Have a bloody good day. See ya.